Hello, I'm Ben Mathias.
Hello, I'm Jackie.
Hello, I'm Zeno.
Hi, I'm Cassidy.
Hey, I'm Sharia, and this is our Engineering Grand Challenges project on enhancing virtual reality.
Our target audience is students who live in Scotland County, ages 14 to 18. This area faces economic difficulties. About 28% of the residents are below the poverty level, and many schools in the area have bad access to technology, and also the quality of education is lower. Our project aims to provide virtual reality headsets that can immerse students in a better learning environment that will hopefully give them a higher quality education, therefore a better joy.
For the project, we looked at existing technologies. We first wanted to base something on like Google Cardboard. There's also other existing technologies like VR Box, the Smart VR, where it acts very similar with each other, where instead of like an actual headset, you use your cellular device or phone to input it into the front of the VR, and the headset will just act as a goggles instead. It's affordable, but it won't be very immersive for children and lacks longevity as long as structural integrity, and overall won't be feasible for the children. Our main proposed solution was to create a low-cost VR similar to Google Cardboard that uses refurbished and VR hardware. So what we mainly want to do is we want to have a Google Cardboard style type case, but repurposing and using VR hardware to put inside of the headset itself. Like the children can have the headset, and however the school keeps the VR hardware that goes with the headset, things for like sanitary reasons and whatnot. And we want to make it as immersive as possible.
So for our design, we used Blender to 3D model a kind of headset that would fulfill our needs. And there are a couple issues with this. So some of the shortcomings are that the design isn't detachable. So at this current moment, although we do plan to have a way to take out the technology from the inside and have it kind of like that Google Cardboard lens, the design that we currently have is unable to do that. And there are also flat lenses, which will cause eye strain and thus a higher likelihood of motion sickness in the people that are using it. And also the support straps, although amazing to help balance the weight and distribute the heavy weight of technology inside the headset, they aren't adjustable currently to a person's head. They're very static, and therefore it gets really uncomfortable sometimes. And it's very boxy, very structured, very solid, and it doesn't really have that more modernized, sleek design. And it's also not really made for going around your face and keeping it super immersive. So like the outside light would still be able to come in through the current contours of the face, and it wouldn't really work super well.
So our marketing plan kind of begins like in the school. Hopefully, the idea is to get like parents involved who maybe have a small business, who are in a church or work at like a nonprofit. The idea is to get them to like bring in resources for this project. I also want to inform the schools around Scotland County about NCDPI for more funding. And then we'll also utilize social media like Facebook and Instagram, so that can start bringing in a wider range of people. Local news and radio station is also a great way to get like the local area to provide support. And I think it mostly relies on starting on a small scale, so then we can see the small successes, and that will slowly build itself to a larger scale. So starting small is good.
Okay, so for the feasibility studies, we have parts reuse is very cost effective and environmentally sustainable. So we only have the lenses, the display, the foam padding, and magnetic trigger. Building Google Cardboard design is very easy to replace. So we only need the basic frame and the rubber band. And that the offline VR app, that the contents can be downloaded through school. So we don't need to rely on Wi-Fi at home. The cost of developing VR headsets and the app we can supply through the Rural Technology Fund, the NCDPI Digital Learning Initiative grant, and the Phobia for Good program, and donor choose. So for some of our shortcoming of our studies, this includes the limited performance and compatibility with old device. So this includes like our reused parts. Donation-based programs often relies on trust and the demands of the county. Google VR headsets heavily depends on donated hardware. So if we don't have enough supply, we won't be able to supply the county. hygiene and sanitation is one of the big issue for students. And when using refurbished and mixed hardware, it may cause inconsistent performance. So this goes hand in hand with the first points. Offline VR apps require consistent updates, bug patches, and security fixes. So it would require more expenses and money.
The solution that we proposed relates to enhancing virtuality grand challenge by removing barriers to learning by giving students meaningful experiences to learning and development, which makes pathways for future opportunities for them. It contributes to the grand challenge by upgrading the system's immersion capabilities while also making it affordable and accessible to all the disadvantaged populations. Some next steps that we want to develop this educational software using the platform Unity, developing this education model, and our system will use a modular design, meaning each lesson loads separately, which will make it very easy to add new subjects or update old ones. We will follow a long-term maintenance plan with regular bug fixes, schedule updates, and ongoing hardware capability checks to keep everything running smoothly. We're also adding an offline download system so schools with limited internet can still use our VR sections. To fund and grow our project, we also plan to reach out to celebrities, streamers, and companies like T-Mobile and AT&T. These partnerships will help us expand our program into more low-income counties and school districts, giving more students access to the VR learning that we've created.
This is the current poster for our grand challenge. This is everything that we did, just in a much more condensed and feasible way to put on the poster with all the citations. And then these are the citations that are readable.